What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? You already know what it is. You have just entered War Zone. Yes. We're back. We are back. And I want to clear up a few things. I want to clear up a few things about what has been transpiring lately. It's been chaotic. When I think about what's been going on, when I think about the bloggers and how I'm noticing the tides turning and going this way one way and then it's going that way, I want to prove to you that Straight Game TV was in fact came on board claiming to be a affiliate of Tupac, Suge Knight Camp, Death Row Records, and I am going to show you the proof in which I am claiming today. I don't want to come off as I am being slanderous, because I'm not slandering. I just want to prove my point, in which I have come to find out as a reality. And really, again, I was watching Straight Game TV as a person of interest in his content and what he was providing about Tupac, just genuinely. And when I started to notice certain attributes and certain ways he was going about handling the P. Diddy episodes, because there were numerous P. Diddy episodes, and the way he carried on about Suge Knight, It was pretty alarming to me and just concerning a little bit. So let's jump into that. All right, so check this out. All right, give me 1 second. Okay, so let's check this out. I want to check this video out right here. Ride with me. Ride with me on this.
I'm not dealing with what I think. This is not PD said, right? What KPD said and what he actually said happened, and Keefe D was with him earlier that day at a celebrity basketball game. Did Keefe D ask for his money then? Let's get into some of this straight game.
Life is like some cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it.
Yeah, that did happen, but you still missed the point. And you said, well, Delray, well, what's the point? You missed the point, in fact, that Keefe D, and if you want to deal with that, earlier that day, Keefe D was invited to a celebrity basketball game by Sean Puffy Combs. Right? That's the same night that Biggie died. And Keefe D also was invited to the Peterson Automotive Museum by Sean Puffy Combs, according to Keefe D. Right? So now, since you wanted, or since most people wanted to go with the theory that, oh, he did try to talk to Puffy and somehow, some way, Puffy told him about the FBI situation. Okay. But why did Keefe D show up? According to Keefe D, why did he show up to the Peterson anyway? Not only because he was invited, but he had asked Sean Puffy Combs a specific question according to Keefe D. And that question had pertained to whether Little C's needed extra security.
Okay, are you listening to what's going on? So this is Straight Game TV explaining to you his narrative, this new narrative, right, on let's bash Keefe D and what Keefe D is saying. So on one hand, Straight Game TV is agreeing with Keefe D and what Keefe D is saying about Reggie Wright, but then on the other hand, he's going against Keefe D and attempting to muddy what Keefy D is saying when it comes to correlating what Suge Knight is saying. Okay, so Suge Knight is basically saying kind of what Keefy D is saying, a little bit. And Straight Game TV is attempting right now to debunk Suge Knight. So let's listen.
Whether Biggie needed extra security or whether Sean Puffy Combs needed extra security, from which Keefy D basically said that he had been providing from time to time to Sean Puffy Combs, right? And that's when Sean Puffy Combs allegedly, according to Keefy D, said, "No, man, I'm hot. I got the heat on me. The FBI watching me and so on and so forth." Right? Right. The question that y'all did not ask yourself, according to Keefy D, up until recent, and I'll say it again, and I'm going to give you two locations so that you understand where I'm actually coming from, because it was the quick out was given, Sean Puffy said that the FBI was watching him. But the fact of the matter is, Keefy D, number one, saw Sean Puffy Combs earlier that day at a celebrity basketball game. And I'm going to ask you once again, Keefy D didn't ask him for his money? This is 6 months later after Tupac was murdered. And according to Keefy D, the alleged hit was put on Tupac and Suge by Puffy for $1 million, right? It's 6 months later. Before you even get to the Peterson Automotive Museum, according to Keefy D was invited to a celebrity basketball game by Sean Puffy Combs, and then later on that same day at the basketball game was also invited to the Peterson Automotive Museum. So that's two times in one night. The same day that Biggie got killed, right? And what I'm asking is this, and this is the question that nobody really.
So you hear Straight Game TV breaking down that he's asking the question, how is it, Keefy D, that Puffy owed you $1 million, and this $1 million was supposed to be the $1 million that was supposed to fund the Tupac demise operation? How is it that you've seen P. Diddy Combs 2 times and you did not ask him about your money? As a matter of fact, he's claiming that the last time Keefy D seen Puff Daddy, that was at the when Biggie was taken out, okay, the Peterson Museum. And from what Keefy D said, Keefy D asked Puff when he seen him, like, "Yo, hey, you need any more security?" Right? Now, I have my theory on that, but let's proceed. I'm going to bring forth, but let's proceed.
Really ask Keefy D, did you ask Sean Puffy Combs for your money, right, while they were at the Peterson? What I said the other day. But now, since everybody seemed to come up with the FBI theory, right, did Keefy D ask Sean Puffy Combs for his $1 million earlier that day at the celebrity basketball game? Right? Not only that, but when Keefy D came to the Peterson Automotive Museum, Keefy D had on his mind, listen, he said he asked Sean Puffy Combs, did they need security? Any more help with security? Now, Why would Keefe D be trying to solicit himself or whoever he was with as a mechanism for security, right? To the very person that Keefe D says owes him $1 million or $500,000.
Now, just like I stated earlier, he's claiming, well, Straight Game TV is claiming, why didn't Keefe D ask Sean Puffy Combs for the supposed $1 million that was supposed to be awarded to him after the operation for taking Tupac out was completed? So he's asking, why didn't you ask him? All right. Now, in my opinion, why he didn't ask him, and he said that it was 2 times, it was too chaotic. It was too many people around him. It was too fast. It was probably, yo, hey, what's up? What's going on? Did he have all these people around him? And what's the name? Keefe D has his people around him. This is supposed to be a top secret bit of information. So in these close quarters, where they're in this public setting, close quarters of a public setting, I don't see it to be suitable for Keefe D to be asking Diddy at them particular times about that very sensitive information, about that very, very sensitive topic. I don't see that to be suitable for Keefe D to ask. I don't think Keefe D thought in his right mind that he would not be able to get to see Diddy again. I don't believe that. I don't believe Keefe D thought that Biggie was about to go down. Right? I don't believe that Keefe D thought that. Or even if he did think that, I don't believe he thought still that he was not going to be able to get in touch with Diddy. I don't believe that. At some point, if he's out, he know at some point he'd be able to get in touch with Diddy. So that's what I believe. But what I'm seeing is I'm noticing and I'm gonna go further on. I'm gonna show you more proof on what it is that I'm claiming. And he's gonna go further on about Keefe D and what Keefe D is saying and just completely attempting to debunk Keefe D, debunk Suge Knight, right? And help cover up the Tupac conspiracy. This is what it's looking like, and this is all alleged. This is all fair use. All right. Make sure you hit that like button if you can. I'd appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Let's go.
Think about that for a minute. I'm not trying to offer you nothing, and you owe me $500,000 or $1 million. I just want to know where my money at, because like I said, up until recently, Keefe D was saying, Puffy, can you throw me a bone? Brother Love, can you give me something? Brother Love, show me some love. And all of these other things that he had stated on the Art of Dialogue, and on Vlad, but mainly on the Art of Dialogue, right? So now I'm asking, and I'm gonna ask again. Earlier that day, on March 9th, right? 1997, Keefe D saw Puffy Combs, according to him, at the celebrity basketball game. That's one opportunity to ask for your $1 million, right? When asked by Greg Kading, what did you talk about when you were at this Peterson Automotive Museum? Keefe D said, I was just trying to see if they needed more security. Okay, cool. He said he asked Puffy and them that they need some more security. Puffy told him the heat was on the FBI and so on and so forth. Okay. So there's two opportunities to ask for.
Okay, let's stop it right there. So Keefe D pulls up to the celebrity basketball game. Diddy's at the celebrity basketball game. Keefe D asks Diddy, "Hey, what's up? You need more security or anything?" Diddy replies to him, "Hey, listen, FBI is all around. We don't need to be talking." Bam, right there. Why would Keefe D go into a outrageous soliloquy asking or demanding for his money right there in that time and in that point when Diddy just said the key word, feds around? His words, feds around, right? Why would he? Does that make any sense, y'all? I'm just asking. Let me know what you think. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Smack that like button. Let's go.
Keefe D's, his alleged $1 million, right? Now, but he doesn't ask for the $1 million according to what he told Greg Kading and according to what was in the profit agreement. Keefe D asked if Puffy would need more security. Did he need more security that night? Y'all understand what I'm saying? And so when people try to, like I said, once again, you got to take in all the information and then break it down and then compare that to what the person has been saying as of late. And like I said, Keefe D's whole argument was, Puffy ain't never give me no money. He ain't never look out for me. He ain't never do this. He didn't never do that, right? That was what Keefe D kept on saying. Can Brother Love show me some love? But once again, on those two occasions, 6 months after the alleged hit had been done and attempted, and they were successful in killing Tupac, right? Unsuccessful in killing Suge Knight, who was in jail for violation at that particular time. The question is, did Keefe D ask Sean Puffy Combs for his money at the celebrity basketball game or at the Peterson Automotive Museum? But like I said, most of y'all were quick to say, well, Puffy said that, the FBI was watching him, so that still doesn't answer the question. Nobody asked that question, right? But like I said, Keefe D had been. So once again, these are the questions that have not been asked. And like I said, when people think that they can come up with some kind of reason as to why not, I'm not dealing with what I think. This is
now, to my understanding, Keefe D would tell you, "Hey, listen, did you not just I can just hear Keefe D right now. Did you not hear what I said, mother effer? Did you not hear what I just said? Diddy said that the feds was around. Yes. All right. If nobody asked him that question, cool. But if somebody was to ask him that question, I'm pretty sure he would say, hey, Diddy said that the feds was around. He was in a haste. It's from what I gather, from what I heard, Keefe D, when Keefe D was interviewed, it sounds like Diddy was in a haste. He didn't want to talk about nothing right now. He didn't want to see it. Just no, it's not the time. Then when he's seen him at the Peterson Museum, all of the witnesses that was in the Peterson Museum said that Diddy was everywhere that night. In the Peterson Museum, he was everywhere. Biggie was stationary because Biggie just had an accident and Biggie was on crutches, but Diddy was everywhere. Has an account of saying it, and many others who were at the Peterson Hotel, And in their interviews, they said Diddy was here, Diddy was there, Diddy was just they accounted that. That's fact. So I don't see Diddy sitting down talking for a substantial amount of time the night Biggie was taken out. From the accounts of everybody saying that Diddy was everywhere that night. He was charged up that night. He was full of energy from the accounts that was said about Diddy. So, I don't see this argument from Straight Game TV being relevant, and I don't see it being a true question that really should be asked, or a true question that's going to give you that aha moment. I don't see that happening. But let's surf over here to Straight Game's channel. I want to show you this, right? Because Straight Game TV is funny because, first of all, we all know that Daz was in high intense drama with Tupac before Tupac was taken out. This account of what I'm saying is public all over YouTube. Okay, coming out of Daz's mouth himself. This is not speculation. In knowing that, it's like, if you are a Tupac affiliate, why are you attempting to bring this guy on your platform? Why did you not ask this guy the tough questions? Why were you on this platform chuckling with this guy? It was like, wow, it was a bit confusing. Okay, but let's look at his videos. And I want to show you that Straight Game has been attempting to use Tupac and Tupac's estate as his high sign and flagship to get the people to come to his platform like flies to lights. Okay, and then when the time came, it's like he flipped a switch and he turned on Pac and Suge Knight. And I want to show you right now, very swiftly, what I'm talking about. Now here you see Tisa. He's talking about Tisa. He's been talking about Tisa for the last 2 weeks. Okay, so before Tisa, right? You're going to see Tupac, right? You see Tupac, Diddy, and anything Diddy, he's defending Diddy. You see Tupac, Pac. The real reason Tupac accused Dr. Dre of being Ghislaine, despite knowing it was false. It's like he's not with Suge and Death Row. I didn't even notice this right here until just now. Right? This right here, this particular heading is proof in itself right here. It says the reason Tupac accused Dr. Dre, not nobody else, right? Tupac, the real reason Tupac accused Dr. Dre of being Ghislaine, despite knowing it was false. So right there, he's calling Tupac a liar, y'all. He said despite knowing it was false. He's calling Pac a straight up, flat out, bold-faced liar. That's what I didn't do that. I didn't put that in my title. That's what he did. That's what Tupac affiliate did, or alleged affiliate, because I have never heard Suge Knight mention anything about, on Straight Game TV. So, and I'm not saying that Straight Game was not affiliated, But I'm just saying, I have never heard Suge Knight mention him, and Suge Knight is on these YouTube streets. He's seeing and listening to what's going on, and I would assume that Suge Knight has heard of Straight Game TV, because Straight Game TV constantly is putting Tupac in his headings. I would have figured that he was, have seen it or people have sent it, but he hasn't mentioned anything. And this is leading me to believe like that it's just some bad, nasty work going on. Now, look, Tupac, Suge, Diddy, 1 million hit on Tupac and Suge, and why the FBI hasn't touched him despite same. Now, I watched some of this and I thought because of the title he was about to defend Pac and Suge. No, I was disappointed. That's the proper word to use. I was disappointed because at first he hooked me with all of these Tupac headings that I'm pretty much about to show you. Tupac, everything Tupac, right? Tupac cheeks, Grey Caden's lies while chilling on black leather couch. So it's like he's totally contradicting himself, because Straight Game is going after Grey Caden and he's going after Reggie Wright Jr., but then again, on the other hand, going after Keefe D and downplaying everything that Tupac is saying and downplaying what Suge Knight is saying. I'm just showing what's going on. Tupac. I mean, I'm sure you get the point right now. I don't have to go any further. But Tupac all the way through his platform, right? And where Tupac stopped was, when Diddy got locked up. That's when Tupac stopped, and he just went solely into defending Diddy, attacking Tisa Tales, and what have you. And I was like, whoa, what is up with that? And it made me want to do some more research and digging. And I was noticing, so how are you going at Reggie Wright? Because Reggie Wright pissed you off, and Reggie Wright called you Good Day, and you said, and that according to you, and this is why you went on a rampage talking about Reggie Wright for a good amount of time, right? But before you were talking about Reggie Wright, you were only solely speaking about Tupac. Okay? And you were speaking about, like, good times and things like that. You weren't really talking about the actual conspiracy until Reggie Wright kind of triggered you to go after him and put you on his radar, where have you, or Reggie Wright was put on your radar, and y'all started going back and forth. Then I started noticing you were talking about Pac and Suge Knight, because I was noticing, I'm like, hold on, why is he doing a lot of Tupac and he's not saying nothing about Suge Knight? He really wasn't. Like, if you go and do more research, he wasn't really talking about Suge Knight. And I'm like, damn, Suge Knight is on the internet and everything. Why is he not talking about Suge? But when Suge started heating up, right, and Suge started getting on all the dialogue and completely just capsized people's boats and scared a lot of people, because Suge started appearing on these large platforms, Piers Morgan, what have you. It was like, wow. All right, let me start talking about Suge, because Suge is like doing some damage right now. So I'm gonna have to start spinning Suge's takes but I'm going to do it through what Reggie Wright is saying. And then when you did bring up Suge Knight, you said you have to see more proof. You said you have to see the proof with Suge Knight when Suge Knight was through accusations on Diddy. So I just wanted to show y'all that, right? And now I want to jump over here. What's up, Layla? What's good, Layla? What's going on, 1619? Your brother Warzone, you see the situation in Queens with the FBA sister. Yeah, I did, brother. I seen that, and it's heating up, right? It's heating up, and I seen the FBAs step onto the block, and they stepped up. You know how that is. When I seen that, I was like, oh goodness, here we go. But that's I don't think that it's gonna go anywhere like that right now, because the focus is not right now on us. Right now the focus is on these other people right now, according to those people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even tripping. I know that they're gonna hold it down regardless, wherever they at. They're gonna hold it down. And I love my factions of the FBAs everywhere, because I know they're gonna hold it down if they are violated. And God, but when I say hold it down, I mean that God is gonna guide them and hold them, because that's the only one that can hold them. Is God. That's the only one. It's nothing we can do. We are nothing. God is totally everything. Straight up and down. I appreciate you. And I wanted to jump over here to what's going on with Ghislaine Maxwell right now, which is a super duper hot topic. I mean, MAGA right now is looking like they are splitting up. MAGA looking like they are splitting up right now. It's not looking good right now for MAGA. And it's not looking good right now. It's just it's a mess. It's a mess. And I think it's a mess because Donald Trump you know what Donald Trump messed up? He messed up with Elon. He messed up with Elon, because Elon put that pressure on, by those tweets about Trump being in the files, the Epstein files, and it just caused a whirlwind. The man has 100 million subscribers at his fingertips on Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, now X, and he caused a whirlwind, a storm, and now from that trigger, it caused Trump to get on record and say that the whole Epstein list was a hoax, and it's not real, and this, that, and the third. So by Trump stating that, Giselle Maxwell, excuse me, Maxwell is like, did you just hear what he just said? The president of the United States? I need y'all to exonerate me. I need y'all to come take a look back in this case, because if the president of the United States is saying that list is not real, how are you charging me with those alleged crimes? And the same Southern District that put Ghislaine Maxwell away was the same Southern District of Manhattan that is going after Diddy right now. right? And I see how, they put, it's crazy how they put just those two, right? Just those two in jail in the penitentiary for that amount of time, and it was only them two, but they went down for a RICO, and there were no witnesses. And it was the same thing as far as, there were no conspirators. So it was the same thing that's basically they're attempting to do with Diddy, or attempted to do with Diddy, right? And that's a political move to get the people that you want, however, cover up all of the other people who were actually complicit, right? And that's what's going on. But now Ghislaine is saying, hey, listen, I'll come to Congress and tell you exactly who was on that Epstein list. And it has people in a tizzy. It has MAGA in a tizzy right now. Trump is like, whoa. Trump is like, ah, man. He did not see this one coming. This right here is hurting Trump right here. This is hurting Trump. Now, it says Maxwell, 63, is now the only person in the case who is doing the time. She got 20 years for child trafficking. A source has now told the publication, despite the rumors, Ghislaine was never offered any kind of plea deal. She would be more happy to sit before Congress and tell her story, adding, no one from the government has ever asked her to share what she knows. She remains the only person to be jailed in connection with Epstein, and she would welcome the chance to tell the American public the truth, quote unquote. A source also said congressional hearings have been held into everything from JFK assassination to 9/11. The Epstein files rank up there with those cases. Ghislaine would be willing to speak before Congress and tell her story. That is just unreal right there. She wants to. Ooh. And now, this is where it gets scary, y'all. Because why is the publications putting out this type of rhetoric right here? Right? So it says, this is the rhetoric that I'm talking about. So it says, Ghislaine Maxwell found dead, wrote one user on X, formerly Twitter, joining a growing flow of people making a supposedly distinct prediction to that Epstein's accomplice will kill her. This stems from the conspiracy theory swirling around Epstein's own suicide, with recent reports casting doubt on the veracity of the footage released by the U.S. government. And there it says right here, I wonder if Ghislaine Maxwell will still be alive by week's end. And the thing is, it's like, why are they even giving this the light of day? Why are they putting this out there? Is this that's weird. It's weird. But Ghislaine now wants to come before Congress and tell all she knows. And this is, bruh, she's probably gonna have to go on PC or something if they even have that where she's at. She's gonna have to do something. Goodness gracious. And they showing this loop back and forth about what happened. So with Epstein, my goodness, it's like, it's really looking bad out there for I pray that everything goes well for Ghislaine as far as I hope she's okay, you know, and not, you know, unalived or anything, because this is just it's just not good on what's going on right now. Let me show you right here. Check this out real quick.
Only person who's talking
this
about
is real
this,
quick.
but
I'm gonna
this
show you
video
something
at
real
one
quick.
point is on a loop and it's obvious. So this guard getting on shift at like midnight, he's going into the room. He tried to pick up the phone, but nobody like buzzed him in. So then he gets into his pocket and he pulls out some.
And this is Tisa Tells content, by the way, so shout out to Tisa Tells.
Keys, and he unlocks the door manually. Now this is just for context. The loop actually happened 6 hours later. About 10 minutes after the hoodie person goes into the little locker room area, this guy comes up clearly to have some sort of a break. Now, like earlier, he picked up the phone and he was waiting to be buzzed in, and now he's just standing there waiting and waiting and waiting. He's standing still for almost a good minute. So much to the point where I'm like, is he frozen? But then if you look at the bag in his hands, it's still moving. But this is more suspicious, and I'll show you how. But before I do that, I want you to notice he's still standing very perfectly still. Remember before when I showed you he got his keys out and just unlocked the door? So why isn't he doing that now? Does he not have his keys on him? Still standing still, by the way. Don't know how anybody else didn't find that suspicious as hell. And it's wild that nobody else caught this yet, because look at him. He's still standing still. This is clearly some sort of a loop or a freeze frame. And again, I'll show you in a second. But he picks up the phone to try and, you know, have someone buzz him in again. And then while he's waiting, he decides to play with the trash and throw out like maybe his gum or something. But where did his keys go? He used them earlier to get in. All right, now pay attention. At 4:48, he goes and picks up that phone, right? Now watch very closely the bag and the telephone cord. Right here is where we see the loop get interacted. They're still just moving in that little same pattern over and over and over again. That's a loop. We've all seen it in heist movies. It wouldn't still be moving like that. And he's not even moving. So it's clearly like a couple seconds of the frame that has been put into a loop. And do we really think it's a coincidence that 25 seconds after he finally gets let in that door is when hoodie person comes back out? And there are a whole lot of things that are pointing to a guard being involved. And I've been going through over a lot of the information that's been released in the past, and I've never had a real reason.
Yo, I love it when, I love it, but it's funny. That's the proper word. It's funny when I see like MAGA. They're like, hold on, listen. You are not pulling the wool over my eyes. We have the internet now. We can pull up stats and facts. No, you're not pulling the wool. No, And the thing is, you know, people want you know, this Epstein file to go away. Some people, or some I want to say content creators and prognosticators would rather talk about the removal of this Epstein case, you know, i.e. Stephen A. Smith, you know, one of the people talking about, oh, I don't give a damn about Epstein, you know, I'm about to go on vacation. I don't, you know, and it's like, you know, well, of course you don't give a damn. You weren't wholeheartedly into voting Trump into office. You wasn't, you know, Trump ran on releasing the Epstein files, releasing the JFK files, releasing the MLK files. That's what Trump ran on. And these people are like, no, you promised us that. You promised us that. They're saying one of the Trumpers, and I just had it on screen and I did not let you see it, but one of the Trumpers said, you know what? It's not even about Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein. He said it's not really about that. He said it's about Trump not being one of them, right? Trump not being like the same old. And it's just that particular line right there sound to me like MAGA is just like vehemently frustrated, right? It's like not even to the point where like they want to argue. It's like they're just like really let down, really disappointed, because these are key factors on why they went to war, risked losing their jobs, risked not being properly seen at the VA or the emergency room or things like that, you know, because they were red dotted. Family was under heavy persecution. Their families were all locked up, a lot of them. You know, their workplaces, they were fired. These people went through mega hell. And a lot of even blacks that were for Trump went through a lot of bull crap, right? But the blacks per se are not, the blacks are like, nothing surprises the blacks, right? So we just sitting back with our popcorn. But a lot of the, what's going on is just haywire. It's just haywire. Lately, so what happened in Queens, there was a FBA sister, black sister, and you could just look it up later, because it's like a complicated story. There was like a fight over like a parking spot, something to that magnitude. Like a white person went into the parking spot or something like that, and I don't know all of the details, but I know that it was just senseless, and I know that the sister was jumped by 3 white people, and and then it just caused a whole big stir. Then the neighborhood came out in formation, march formation, sort of like Black Panther style formation, bullhorn, flags, big flags, super deep in the streets, demanding, I guess, peace, or that they, from what I heard, the yelling, "Leave us alone." That's what from what I was hearing out of the bullhorn. So that's like, pretty much like in a nutshell that went down and what transpired. But you can, look that up and really get a full aspect of, what happened, better than me. But that's why I didn't touch on that, anything like that, because I didn't know all of the details for me to actually truly elaborate on it like that. I just kind of just briefly touched on it. Excuse me. I briefly tapped into it to see what was going on. Like, what is this? Then I seen it. I'm like, they're gonna forget about this, and this not no big. It's not no, long as it don't keep going, just everybody's cool. Hey, listen, nobody's unalived. Listen, let's just pray to God. That's just the way I'm looking at it. Moving forward, that's how I'm looking at it.
Reason to deep dive Jeffrey Epstein before, but the more and more I look into it, the more it absolutely was a guard who did it. Honestly, we need to find out who this woman is so that we can figure out why she has never been mentioned before.
Every year, every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. And the minute missing from the video, we release the video.
She like, we got to find out who that lady is, because we not MAGA, they don't play. MAGA, they don't play. Listen, you piss MAGA off, they like, what? You trying to pull wool over who eyes? They like, what? They still on it. Like, listen, bruh, that other last election was straight up rigged. They still on it. They still want people heads to roll. They're not playing around. They going full backing for Donald Trump. Donald Trump was almost unalived. They are mad about it. They still are pushing for heavy investigations. They want heads to roll. for Donald Trump. They're not even, they want that. And then it's like, Trump, how are you not releasing? But I'm thinking, yo, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. I don't know. Trump might be in the files. I don't know. He might be in the files. Why? I mean, why such a 360 like that? I don't know. It's like maybe he thought that, he could, get into office and bury this under the rug, in which he did attempt to do. But he was, he attempted to downplay the whole Epstein thing and said nobody cares about that. It's that a third. Trump said that. And it's like, it makes MAGA want to throw up. Like, yo, are you a part of them? And listen, man. And I don't think Trump is a part of them. I don't think he's a part of them at all. I just think Trump is going to protect him, and if he's a part of that, if he's a part of it, and I'm not saying that he's done any wrongdoings, but I don't know how far, if you've been on Epstein's jet, is that automatically classifying you as, what if Epstein said, hey, come on my jet, when he was, when they were younger, they was like, come on my jet. And it's like two businessmen, they want to talk business. Trump said, from what I'm understanding, Trump stopped dealing with Epstein because of a bad business deal that went down with them, So, I mean, because he went on a jet, I don't know. Is that, are you considered, somebody that's doing, have been involved in wrongdoing just because you've been on that jet? I don't know. Is that the depth of the persecution on a lot of the alleged people who have been on this jet, i.e. Bill Clinton? Is that, I don't know. Only person that we know of that can actually clear this all up, and she's willing to do it, is Ghislaine Maxwell. She's the only one that can clear this up. And from what it looks like, the DOJ is attempting to block this. And MAGA is getting on one, and once MAGA get on one accord, bruh, it's going to cause a firestorm. MAGA is getting on one accord about this very topic right here. They are like, no, what? No, we want the files. We want the files. And that's President Donald Trump's DOJ blocking the files. Trump out of his own mouth claiming that the files don't even exist. MAGA feels betrayed. Dare I say that word right now? I don't think it's to that extent yet. But damn it, in another week, it might be, that word might be starting to float around the internet. Dare I say MAGA is starting to feel betrayed? Dare I say that? Because when they get on one accord like this, bruh, look how she's watch how this lady is, she's very passionate, and you can tell she's emotional about it, and she speaks for MAGA. This is how MAGA is feeling. The real true MAGAs, the real true, not even Trumpians, the MAGA, the Make America Great Again people. It was more than Trump. To a lot of people, it was Trump. To a lot of people, but to the majority of the MAGA, it's a cause. It's really Make America Great Again. They're fighting for that. It's not really Trump. But now they're feeling like, hold up, bruh. What's going on?
Video showing definitively, the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
All right, y'all. So the FBI released this video footage of the outside of Epstein's cell, claiming that this proves that he did not commit.
No, they claiming that. Yo, you gotta understand, the public is. You don't have a dumb. Listen, you don't become the #1 nation on the planet by having a dumb public. This public is well informed. We have a well informed public. Now, by you, the DOJ releasing this video, and now you're claiming that there's a 1 minute loop that goes on in this video all the time. You know, it's a 1 minute, pretty much like a 1 minute loop, because there is a rotation to where the next day has to come in, right? Now, my question is this standard procedure for all prisons? That's my question. I have never heard of that. I mean, I've never researched camera footage like that. You know, I've never really been into like what's going on with their camera systems. But from what I'm understanding about the way law enforcement operate, they operate so sporadically. This precinct or FBI agency is, or a branch of this agency is doing it like this. This branch is doing it like that. You know, so I highly doubt that all of these prisons run a procedure like that to where there's a 1 minute loop. Where did that come? And I mean, come on. All you have to do is tell the warden to come on, bro. This is too easy. This is a slam dunk. This is too easy, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. We're not a dumb public, bro. We're not a dumb public. You got the whites and the blacks on it. Like, let's go. Watch, look, the whites and the blacks. All right, let's go. Look at this.
We're gonna watch this together, and you tell me. Everybody's worried about this missing minute, but I'm concerned about something else. Let's watch. All right, so we can see this police officer, which it looks like, walk up the stairs. Look at how casual he's walking. He picks up the phone, puts it down, acts like somebody's going to open the door for him, and then remembers, oh crap, no one's going to open the door. I'll just grab my key. So he grabs his key. It looks like he unlocks the door. Okay. All right, so he goes in. He leaves the door wide open. Why would he leave the door wide open if this is a criminal? This is a prison. You don't just leave the door wide open. They could run out. Oh, he says, oh, my bad, forgot to close the door. So he closes the door. Okay. Be sure to be looking at the timestamp, y'all. Y'all worried about this 1 minute. I'm worried about something else. Keep watching. So it keeps going. Right? And the time is running. Now, watch me. I go ahead and just fast forward, okay, to the most important part. So, as you can see, it's gonna pause. For some reason, when I was trying to record this, it kept pausing right before this moment. So you're gonna see me trying to like refresh it and like unbuffer. But so far, this is what we have. Let it play, let it play. Watching that timestamp? Nobody has entered at all. Other than that one black man, that tall black man that just entered, remember? He was tall. He had a little patch, little American flag patch on the side of his shirt. Remember? All right. Now you see me trying to fast forward. Keep looking at the timestamp, y'all. Okay? Keep watching. I know this is tedious, but we got to get the evidence. We got to get the evidence. Watch closely, please. So it's been about roughly 4 minutes since that guy went in there. Now, I told y'all, every time I was trying to get this little piece of evidence, it kept pausing. So I'm trying to refresh it. And then boom. Who is that? That is not the same black man that we just saw. Do you think that we're fucking idiotic? Does the FBI and the DOJ think that we're fucking dumb? Who is that man? That is not the same man that went in there. That is a short, fat black man. Where did he get that bag? Where did he get that paper? He has on like a Bulls hat or something. It's like he don't. Who is he? Y'all focused on that 1 minute.
Bro, that's nasty work right there, bro. I'm seeing, bro. I seen a little bit of this, bro. I'm seeing this right now with y'all for the first time too. Like, what? That's nasty work right there, bro. That's nasty work right there, bro. Anytime you have black people around that high society white man, nah, bro. Something's. Bro, nah, bro. I ain't saying. Listen, I ain't saying nothing. I don't know, and I really don't. I don't. I have no. But I'm just showing what is like really, really steaming hot right now and dividing mother freaking MAGA right now, which was almost impossible to do at this particular point in time. Trump not even over a year, and MAGA is ready to split up. Dare I say that? It's looking bad. Elon is really going to strip a lot of people because people are tired of that two-tier system with the Democrats and Republicans. People are sick of the Democrats. I mean, to their core, to their pit of their stomach, to where they're throwing up their lining. That sick. And I know the conservatives and MAGA is like, they've been sick of the Republicans and what they were doing. MAGA had to make the Republicans bow down. MAGA is a faction of the Republicans that had to make the traditional Republicans bow down. But now, dare I say that the party is in jeopardy now, especially with the strategy that Elon Musk is attempting to implement, and he officially signed in or put in or voted in or pledged in this new party, this new American party. Elon is only going for 2 to 3 state senators that can turn the vote, that's a very, very good strategy. Big beautiful bill just passed by 1 vote, and if you have 3 high-profile votes in your hand, you can sway every bill that comes through. You have a huge influence and impact, and Elon Musk has the money to do that. You only needed somebody with the balls and mad enough to actually do something like that and have the bag to do it, and Elon has the bag to do it. And it's now pretty obvious it's game on now. So I mean, for the FBAs, we sitting back. Everything that's kind of happening is, we sitting back. It's all good for us. It's all beneficial for us because we're not We not tripping. We sitting back with popcorn. We not tripping about that. You know.
That's not the same motherfucking black man that I just saw. And with the trash can just moving on its own. Y'all, be serious. This man is not the same man as this man right here.
No, that's not.
Those are two completely different dudes.
I don't know.
Y'all worried about this minute mark and the minute
I don't know.
being.
Let me see. What y'all think? First of all, he didn't have that hat on, right? The other man did seem a bit heavier. Why did he go in, and why is his uniform off or open? I have to see that image again.
And missing, the minute missing, but it's a lot of other stuff that's missing. FBI, do you really think that we're crazy and we can't tell the difference between two black men? You crazy?
I'm a retired FBI agent, and this development in the Jeffrey Epstein case makes no sense. The Department of Justice and the FBI now have...
Yo, they are mad. Yo, I be sitting back. This is too funny to me. Why? Because we need the system to be broken down, bro. And MAGA not with it. They're not letting up. No, you're not throwing this away. No. They're like, no, they're not letting this happen. No. We want they like we want to know. They're not saying we want to know. They're saying we're going to know. We're going to know. They went through too much. They want this system done with. They didn't put you in there to go along with the same system and do the same old tricks. They don't want that, and they don't want no tricks done to them. If you're gonna do tricks, they're like, cool, as long as you're not doing it to them, and they don't want that. I'm just talking the truth. They don't want that. Matt, right, Matt? Layla said, is he using the evidence and leverage on the people? You see, Bill Gates had been sneaking to the White House begging. I didn't see that. I got to look that up. I'm going to get more into this because this is getting interesting now. This story is beginning to cook now. This story is, they are Twitter, everywhere is exploding right now. All of the platforms for this right here, it's exploding. MAGA is pissed. You even have hardcore Trumpians coming on record saying, this is not, they're not slandering, they're not to the point of slandering Trump. But they are saying some things that you would not see most of these right-wing hardcore conservatives saying. And it's like, wow. Check this FBI person. Let me see later. Later said, I don't want them to let it go. Pam Bondi said that FBI in New York had boxes and she went and she sent them a request. And next thing I knew, she said that it's no evidence. What? What the hell? What the hell? Oh, what is going on? What the freak is going on, Pam Bondi? See, FBA is sitting back like, man, we've been going through this. Sitting back with our popcorn like this, man. Want some? We've been going through this. But now it's looking like we getting some allies really by default, whether they like us or not. It's like, we all want the same thing, man. We want love, peace, and happiness. And we do not want a government that's disguised as a loving and carefree in government, but behind the scenes, they're really running this government like a fascist government. And we don't want that. We really don't want that. We don't want the police states, and we don't want that. We don't want that on our country. We don't want you surveilling us highly. And I believe that a lot of this, all of this, a lot of the surveillance that came onto the country was because they knew for years that they were bringing in a lot of people from other countries over here. They have never needed all of this security here in America. They have never needed all of this security. They have never needed all of this security here in America. Never. You never needed to bring the military here on the grounds of America. Never had to do that. You never had to militarize any faction of the military. It's getting out of control now. It's looking really, really bad. And it's a war. It's really a war going on now. Right now. Immigration laws. Trump, from what I'm hearing, is thinking about giving amnesty to the so-called 30 million plus immigrants, in which that's the number that's on record, but they really don't know. They're saying it's higher than that, but they really don't know the number. Thinking about giving them all amnesty. And this is coming from hardcore right-wingers like Charlie Kirk. That they're basically going to be pushing for amnesty for immigrants and allow them to stay here in the country. And pretty much Trump is going to use that $175 billion that came per the big beautiful bill for immigration, for them to clamp down. From what I'm hearing, the plan is to set up more prisons. So $175 billion. And this is what I'm hearing that Trump is wanting to use it for. What do you think about that? Let me know. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about that.
Have officially declared that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, did not have a client list, blackmailed nobody. This is contradictory of so many things that we've heard over the years that it is absolutely stunning to me. I just don't understand it. It makes no sense. It makes no sense with things that Attorney General Pam Bondi herself said back, I think, in February, when she said that all Jeffrey Epstein files were going to be released, that they contain flight logs, names. And we've been told for years that Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell headed up this sex trafficking ring with thousands and thousands of victims. And so if Epstein acted alone, essentially, then who was he trafficking to? Were all these thousands and thousands of victims his? I've never understood how he had so much money. Honestly, if you look at his background, for the lifestyle that he had, for all the homes that he had, was an incredible amount of just money going out the door monthly just to maintain these places. None of this makes sense, I can tell you. It's baffling to me. As I've said before, it's a demonstrable fact that over half the country.
Wait, and I think this is an FBI agent right here. Or a former FBI agent.
Does not have faith and trust in the FBI, and I think that number is probably even going down. This has been handled horribly. If this is the truth, just the way that this has been done is just horrible. And again, speaking as
bro, did you see? They are want to throw up. I don't mean to laugh because listen. My people have been going through all type of crap with these people, right? With this government, how they've been rolling, right? So it's like, we sitting back, like we finally seeing somebody else, like, like actually seeing their own people, like, what the heck is going on up there? I believe since we didn't have the internet, a lot of the white community, they didn't really know a lot that was going on. They really believed in their government. They really did. For the most part, they really did. If the government comes out on a full media blitz on a certain case, for the most part, the white community, they are going to believe it. And now, since the internet came out and the whites are getting to compare notes and speculate on certain instances, like, they're like, hold on. First of all, we're not dumb. And you think you're gonna run that by me again? And the funny thing is, hold on, they're not just gonna sit back. Like, they're not a people that's just gonna sit back and just be like, well, they played us, so it's nothing we can do. No. These are the type of people who will curse the cops out, even though they're wrong. In the car, they curse the cop out. I've seen it. They wrong. They get caught. They got weed. When weed was illegal, they got weed on the dashboard. They still curse the cop out. Bro, listen. You think these people gonna sit back and allow this when they have the evidence right here? No, they're not allowing it. And you're gonna play on their intelligence? You're gonna play on their intelligence by putting out this type of video? What? Why would you shouldn't even put that video out, man. You know, that's you should not have put that video out. You should not. Now Bondino is talking about retiring or not retiring, like he's might have to resign and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn.
As a retired FBI agent, I never directly worked on anything related to Epstein. Nothing about that ever came across my desk. So my knowledge of this is just, the same as yours, what's in the public. But I can just tell you that this. It doesn't make sense. Something doesn't add up in this thing. Stay tuned. Stay with us. I'm going to stay on this and see if I can try to figure this out myself. Keep your questions and comments coming, and I'll talk to you later.
Man, listen.
Tired of having to stream in 720p in StreamYard or having to pay more to get 1080p quality? We got you.
Woo! It is getting hot like fish grease. But one thing that I know, everything is happening in our favor right now, to where you have first of all, you have the people that can get the job done damn near on our side. Like, when I say our side, on the FBA side, the whites, they can get the job done, right? You get them mad and they all on the same accord, bruh, they're going to get the job done, bro. They're going to get the job done, bro. They're going to get the job done. And Trump is under pressure now because the Republicans have it all. They have the House, they have Congress, they have it all. And the people will then vote them senators out of office. There is tremendous pressure on those senators right now from MAGA. Tremendous. They don't want to hear that from Trump. Trump, right? This is when I know MAGA is not playing. They are ignoring. They're running past what Trump said. Normally, they'll listen to what Trump said. Trump said this, they will go with it. You'll hear, the people, making up excuses like, yeah, Trump said, not now. No, they want that Epstein. No, they want this government completely capsized. And if that amnesty actually get out, if that, from what Charlie Kirk said, if this actually is true, and Trump decides to go through with this, boy, listen, you might be looking at a civil war on your hands, bro. You might be, because white America they're not going to have it, bro. They're not going to have it. They're not going to allow you to get in office, Trump, and do nothing, and hand back over the keys to the Democrats. They're not having that. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. Linda said they had a whole connection this weekend at Turning Point, laughing out loud. They want Elon's company seized and him deported. They have a lot of war going on. But listen, Elon is gaining some traction right now. You know, the way I'm looking at it, if I'm calling plays right now, like if I'm calling, the stats right now on who's winning it, Elon is gaining some traction right now because the MAGA is in the back of their mind. They're like, well, yeah, we hate you, Elon, but what you did say does hold some weight. Hold up. Yeah, what's up with those fouls, bruh? You ran on that, bruh. You ran on that. We went through we went through it all because we backed you. We did. White families and black families. We did. White families were broken up because of Trump. Black families were broken up because of Trump. Yeah, it was like, seriously, like real broken up because of Trump, because of difference in opinion. So you damn Skippy, MAGA, which consists of white and black, majority white, the overwhelmingly majority white, are pissed. And when they get pissed on the same accord and they have the internet and they come, no, bruh, these senators have a problem. And why Trump is attempting, or from what I'm hearing, probably attempting looking at amnesty, because Trump did say something about, we could look at something in the form of amnesty or something. He said we can look at it, bruh. If that really gets out and Trump really want to do that, bruh, and he's doing that because they're saying that the Republicans are going to lose during the midterms, the upcoming midterm elections. It's like Trump is in the middle, like he's stuck. It's like he's stuck in between a rock and a hard place. But that's what you asked for, Trump. You wanted to get up there. You up there, and you're gonna have to do what you got to do, Trump. But this is crazy. I don't know if this is sustainable with all of the immigration that's actually packed within the country right now. I don't know if this is sustainable. You seeing all of the videos? Did you see the black man and the Indian man fighting on the airplane? Did you see that video? They were on the plane in the air. This dude, the Indian dude got straight cookied out, bruh. But it was the Indian's fault. The Indian was locked up and he was the aggressor. He was like, he started it. The black man, just defended himself, and defended himself mightily. But damn, it's not, we have never seen, bruh. When have you ever seen a video of somebody actually throwing fisticuffs real, like seriously, on the plane over hate crimes? Whites and blacks, we bicker, but when the hell have we had a damn fight on an airplane? Please, somebody tell me. When have a white person and a black person at a boom? I'm talking about, you should have seen it, bro. It was, but if you look it up now, it went viral. It's crazy, bro. You can look it up, man. Man fighting on the hate crime on the plane. They locked the Indian up. I don't know if this is sustainable, Trump. If you're gonna do something like that, as far as the amnesty, I don't know if this is sustainable. I really don't. I really don't. I don't. I'm just saying that. Listen, I'm just saying I don't know if it's sustainable. I'm not sure. You know, Warzone, the man been crying, but I want justice for the victims too. You said the men been crying, but I want justice for the victims too. I'm trying to remember who you talking about, Layla, when you talking about the victims too. And I'll listen. We want we want justice for those victims. And oh yeah, okay. You talking about Epstein? Yeah, man. These people been put through a whole system, bruh. It's nasty. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. I have seen how some people get down. I really have. It's not good the way they get. That's not. It's not good, bruh. It ain't good. So I can imagine on that level. They probably got. You see those movies that we be sitting back looking at. They probably got movies, like Hostel and all that. They probably not chopping people up. Maybe they are. I don't know. But they got some. Listen, man, they got some system, man. They got some system going on, probably, bro. See the Hunger Games and all that, man. I don't know, man. Maybe they do. I don't know, man. I don't know, but I don't know. It's pretty funny how. It's pretty funny how people get. People come over here in the mass and they end up missing. I don't know. It's, bro. The FBA's ain't snatching people up, bro. So you don't look over here. You know what I mean? The FBA's ain't snatching people up, bro. Kidnapping them and all that. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And the whites, bro, they not snatching people up, bro. They're not. Like they're not having immigrants come. If anything, you're gonna find them on the lawn. You know what I mean? They're gonna leave a few of them or something. If anything, they ain't trying to bring them in to have them under some system and all of that. And nah, man, they ain't doing that. They ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Who's doing that, man? That's crazy, man. So I feel what you're saying, Layla. I don't have to watch TV to know more between Fox no more between Fox and CNN. It's Age of Thrones 4K. Yo, we're tired of it. MAGA is tired, and FBA is just looking at MAGA like, well, damn it, it's about time. Look, MAGA, they don't gotta like us, but we still looking at y'all like, hey, man, it's about time. We got to get on the same accord, man. They put, I'm surprised a case didn't come out yet, that they're going to put out that's in the courtroom that's going to attempt to divide us. I'm surprised they didn't put out a high-profile case yet like that, like the Carmelo Anthony case. I'm surprised that, that's probably one of those cases coming. Because once the whites and blacks start getting aligned, from what I noticed, here come one of these big ass profile cases that went viral, and be like, how'd they go viral? How'd they all of a sudden just go viral? Who are they? It's not like they some celebrities or stars. How'd they freaking just go viral all of a sudden? CNN picking up, Fox picking up, MSNBC, or everybody picking, all these picking, Newsweek, Daily News, New York Post, New York Times, Washington Times. Pick it up. How? What? Huh? How? Where did that? Out of all of the killing going on, and how did that get picked up? You know what I'm saying? Why are y'all pushing this on the algorithm? You know what I'm saying? So the whites and blacks could get to it again. That right. I really don't be liking that. I really don't. But I'm gonna end it right there. I thank you all for coming out. Salute you all. Make sure you slap that like button. I appreciate you. And later said they tried with Carmelo, but no Larissa, who was killed. But six illegal immigrants. Sam, man, right, exactly. Know what I'm saying? See, so just the tricks they play. You see it. We tired of the playbook, and now MAGA is like, hold on, Trump, you gonna try to use that same old dirty playbook they've been using against us? This is what MAGA saying. Like, you gonna do that? Nah, Trump, don't do that. Don't do that, dog. Yo, but I'm gonna end that. Salute you all. Appreciate y'all if you smack that like button. I appreciate you all for stepping out. Lily, you already know what it is. I love you all, except for the ones I don't. Peace.